So I think I'll break this up into a couple of different episodes so they don't get too long. On this one, I'm going to remove the mechanical fuel pump, and then also the distributor. And the distributor, there's not really much to it, but I'm just going to show how I'm going to mark it so that I make sure that I get the exact same timing when I go to reinstall it for a break-in. And then I'm taking off the timing chain cover there, and then I think the following episode I'll go ahead and pull the head and maybe pull the timing set off. I'm not sure yet, but I'm just pulling some stuff off here and kind of showing the step-by-step of what I'm doing. So be sure to subscribe if you want to kind of follow along and see some of the different pieces. I'm going to do the entire teardown, and I'm going to do also the rebuild and with the machine shop as I go through each of the steps. So this should be pretty straightforward. Again, I had mentioned before, a lot of people have problems with the mechanical fuel pump and it blowing out and things like that after just, even a few miles or a few thousand miles. Mine luckily has worked okay for a while, so I'm definitely going to reuse this. I'm just using a 1/2 inch here, and it came off pretty easily. I don't even know what the torque spec is on these, but it's got to be pretty low. Again, I'm going to use this one again. Never had this off, so I'm not quite sure what. I think the arm goes inside. It's just it just rides right on top of the cam. I think these bolts are 1 inch. I think these are maybe 5/16. 1 inch long, both the same. Yes, 5/16. Ouch. Yep, they're 5/16, 1 inch long. This thing, I think, just comes right off there. It was engaged. The little arm here was just engaged a little bit on the cam. I can see the cam in there. Looks pretty worn, but that doesn't really matter a lot with just a regular gasket on here. That thing, I'm gonna have to clean this thing up. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely. Again, what I've seen people say is that the new ones, the arm is longer than this, or at least this one works. So assuming that this is a correct one, that the arm is longer on the new ones, and you need like a 1/8 inch spacer here, or 1 or 2 extra gaskets or something of that nature to set it off. Otherwise, it gets engaged too much and it rips the rubber. At least that's what the going theory is, and what a bunch of people have mentioned online before. Anyway, gonna clean that up, go ahead and reuse it. Not gonna mess with it with how many problems I've seen others have. Then just in terms of looking in there, just what that looks like. So that arm goes right on top of the cam there. You can see it's pretty, there's a nice little wear spot, but I don't think the wear spot matters too much. So for the distributor here, I went ahead and marked everything there. I'm going to try to keep the line because I want to keep this timing when I go for break-in. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the cap here and mark exactly what's going on. So it should come right off there. So there's the rotor. I'm going to go ahead and turn this to top dead center. The one position should be here, so this should be top dead center. I'll rotate the crank. There, that should be top dead center there. Yeah, I have it on the 0 mark. It's 180 degrees away. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the distributor bolt here. And I'm going to make sure that I mark this pretty well. And I don't want any kind of turning or anything. So I'm going to put a little scratch, a little mark right where the top of this, I have this indentation here. So I'm going to do that right on the top. So I know exactly where. There. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit the front, the timing cover and the harmonic balancer. I've already hit these with the impact gun, and then they came loose really easily. So there's not really much here holding that in. All right, so here's the pretty straightforward. Like I said, I already hit it with the impact wrench just to loosen those up a little bit. The 3 little bolts here. One of those like 5/16 or something. I think they're the same as, yeah, 5/16. So the pulley comes right off here. Apparently, yeah, I don't think that matters too much. The orientation. So there's that, the pulley there. So I'll clean that up, probably powder coat it. Keep all those bolts together, keep all the stuff. And here's the harmonic balancer. So I'm gonna have to use my puller for this. And again, I wanna notate that there's about, because I wasn't sure, like, how do you know? I think it bottoms out when you put it back on, but also wanted to note between the end of the shaft here and the edge of the harmonic balancer. I can see a little key weight goes right in there. That will notch. Oh gosh, it's about, maybe it's a millimeter. The shaft is a millimeter inset of the harmonic balancer. So I just want to notate how close that is. I'm going to go ahead and try to grease this up earlier. I think that should go nicely right in there. There's a little angle that's going to fit right in there. Puller all set up, and give it a couple whacks. All right, that's what a dying air gun sounds like. I need to run to my compressor, but we'll just see if I can't do the rest of this by hand. I think it's just about there. Yep. Yep. And there she goes. Whoa. So that's it. Came off. All right, the timing cover can come off now. We've got a couple different bolts here. This was, I believe, that's a nut on the stud that held the alternator bracket, I believe. And I think this did also. There was also, I think, another bolt in there. I have another video on the whole taking off the alternator, putting it back on and everything. And there are a couple bolts around here. Then there are 2 that go in from the oil pan, so the cover can't come off until those 2 bolts on the on the bottom of the oil pan come off. So we'll try those next. Should be pretty straightforward. I think all these I've cracked at some point. Yep. I don't know whether all that's part of the oil pan or not. But I'm going to take it all off. Some yellow stuff here. I'm going to get some cardboard or something to put underneath here. Oh, that one's a little bit longer. So that one over here to the right, underneath the timing marks. That one's a little bit longer. Is this thing gotta come off? There we go. Okay. This thing's a little bit grimy. I guess it was caught up on there. I thought it was maybe some bolt I wasn't aware of or some kind of clip. Here's the inside. I was expecting some kind of chain guard. I'd seen in some other videos, but maybe mine doesn't have that. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if this thing has ever been off there. It doesn't look like it has been. Looks like that's probably need a new seal there. I think there's a new seal can go in there. But anyway. So yeah, just those 4 bolts had to come out from the oil pan. Yeah, the corners I guess do need to come off. And then here's, I thought the keyway was supposed to be come out, but maybe not. That's a seal there. Yeah, I probably got some play in the timing chain there. So I'll have to replace the chain. I don't know about getting a whole new roller set though. I don't really, I've seen lots of videos on that, but I'm not quite sure what. Yeah, take a look at that, how much play that is going back and forth. Yeah, that's a couple of degrees at least. So that chain definitely needs to be replaced. I wonder how tight that is on there. Well, we'll see. Can it get up there like this? Yeah, that's just going to crank the engine, isn't it? You have to use the impact gun on that. I wonder if it's got enough juice. I guess so. Helps when you have it turned the right way. I'm going to go ahead and just put that in there for now. And this should pop right out along with this.